사겠습니다.
오케이 데스! 마영상 작동!
Suwon Rib Marinade chicken from Extreme Job is a very interesting recipe that I want to try to at least make an interpretation of today. Extreme Job is one of my favorite Korean movies in the last couple of years. It's one that I saw a few years ago, and I want to at least try to make an interpretation of it. This isn't going to be one-to-one from what we saw in the movie. This is going to be, again, what I make based on my knowledge of Korean fried chicken and my own techniques and recipes. So let's go ahead and get started on this, shall we? So we're going to have a pretty big grocery list, so let's get started. We're going to first use our favorite fried chicken. We're going to use chicken thighs, boneless, skinless. Of course, our favorite frying method, we're going to use potato starch. Now we're going to use a little bit of bread flour this time. It's going to be a little bit different. We're going to use some whole milk. Now we're going to use a little bit of heavy cream. We're going to use a couple of jalapenos, a couple of shishito peppers as well, a few bird's eye peppers. We'll come back here, come on. Get back here, you little guy. All right. 1/4 onion. About 3 green onions. A little bit of our chili oil from an earlier video. Let's see here, we're going to also need some black Chinese vinegar, some white pepper, let's see here, 1 Korean or Asian pear, large one this time, some black Korean garlic, some Korean soup soy sauce, a little bit different than the Kikkoman sauce, some of this Korean sweet syrup, some sesame oil. We talked about that. We're going to use also some ginger and minced garlic, some black pepper, and let's get started. So first we're going to make the marinade for the chicken. We're going to start with some whole milk. We're going to start with about, let's say, a cup of whole milk. There we go. We're also going to add to that, let's say, a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. The marinade in the movie looked more like a heavy batter. Now, in the movie, the chef Ma, he said that his family had Chinese origins, and I think that's the secret to why everyone thought the chicken was so succulent. So we're going to add a little bit of Chinese flavor to this. So again, the marinade was more like a batter here, so we're going to try to make this more like a batter. So we're going to add 3 heaping tablespoons of bread flour here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and mix that up there. Make that into like a bit of a batter. To our batter, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of our black Chinese vinegar, 1 teaspoon of white pepper, 1/2 tablespoon of ground ginger, 1/2 tablespoon of ground garlic, a little bit of spice here, I forgot to mention it earlier, a little bit of gochugaru for flavor, or Korean red pepper flakes. Let's give that a good mix. Now for a little bit of extra kick, I'm adding in 1/4 teaspoon of my chili oil that I made in an early video. Now to round it all off, we're going to chop in 1/4 of our onion and put it into the batter. just like that and give it another mix. Next, we're going to break down our peppers. First, the jalapenos. We're going to just slice that into just moderately sized pieces. Throw right in the batter. Same thing with the shishito peppers. And then the bird's eyes. Just go ahead and throw them all in there, seeds and all. We want the heat. Next, we're going to break down the chicken pieces. Do the same as we did in the original Korean fried chicken recipe. Bite-sized pieces. Throw it all in the marinade / batter, and we're going to have that go ahead and marinate that for half hour up to 8 hours. Alright, it's been 8 hours, and now it's time to make our dredge. So first, we're going to start with a generous amount of potato starch. As always, potato starch is the key to Korean fried chicken, at least in my opinion. I've not seen anyone ever tell me that Korean fried chicken can be made without anything other than potato starch. I'd love to see a recipe without potato starch as the frying ingredient, so we're going to also add a little shake of white pepper, again honoring Detective Ma and his Chinese heritage. A little bit of black pepper as well. Now we're going to drain the chicken from its dredge, its marinade. We're going to drain the chicken from its marinade. There we go. We got lots of bits there, so we're going to have to sort of dig the chicken out of the bits because we had all the extra bits there. So we're going to put our black gloves here. I love these black gloves. It makes it so easy to clean. You know, all I have to do is just take the black gloves off, put everything in the dishwasher. There we go. Nice high-walled container. That way I just toss. Throw in a piece of chicken one at a time. Toss. Very soon I have as much coverage as I need. Maybe I should have gotten one of my large metal bowls for this, but live and learn. Alright, I'm going to get my iron skillet, fill it with some neutral cooking oil, heat it up to, I think this at 375. Once it's heated up, I'm going to go ahead and add 8 to 10 pieces. Don't see bubbles, it's not hot enough. Yep, I see some bubbles. Let's go ahead and add in 8 pieces. I'm going to do it in a circular pattern. See, once I saw Extreme Job, I knew I wanted to do this recipe because I love Korean fried chicken. I love this movie. And again, this isn't an exact one-to-one replication. This is more in the spirit of it because I know that they do full chicken pieces in Extreme Job, and I've never done a full chicken piece Korean fried chicken recipe yet, and maybe I should try to do that next. Again, this is more in the vein and the spirit of the recipe. Again, honoring the character of Chef, Detective Ma and his the character's Chinese heritage, and using the Chinese ingredients in the dredge and in the marinade and stuff like that. But we'll see how it goes. Still think this is a damn fine Korean fried chicken recipe, though. Alright, after you flip 3 minutes on each side, you should have some nice crispy Korean fried chicken. And yes, it's nice and crispy, it's tender, and as they say in the video, succulent. Because of the amount of chicken I use, you have to fry it in at least 2 to 3 batches, as long as you monitor everything. Oh, wait a minute.
양념? 무슨 양념?
세상 치킨에 파는 양념이란 사실을 망각했다. 아무 양념이나 해.
내가 알고 있는 양념이라고는 우리 가게 왕갈비 양념밖에 없는데.
그거 하면 되겠네. 왕갈비 양념.
That's right. There are two types of Korean fried chicken. There's one with sauce and one without sauce. They're using galbi marinade as a sauce in the movie. Personally, I think galbi marinade's too sweet, but we're going to do it. We did the galbi marinade in an earlier video, but the galbi marinade that they use in this movie is slightly different, so we're going to try it. Again, I'm using Korean pears as the base. So we're using 1 large Korean pear, 3 cloves of black Korean garlic, ginger, some fresh minced garlic, Korean soy sauce, some of this Korean sweet syrup, sesame oil, a little bit of black pepper, about a pinch. Again, personal opinion, I think galbi marinade as glaze for fried chicken would be way too sweet. A little bit of the Chinese vinegar, again, honoring Chef Ma's Chinese heritage. Now we're going to go ahead and plop the top in there and blend. And again, we're going to, because we're using Korean pear in here, we're going to try to turn this into as thin a liquid as possible. So while that's straining all the solids, we're going to go ahead and chop up 1 green onion. Well, 3 green onions. We're going to chop up 3 green onions into 1/4-inch pieces for the glaze. Alright. Once the marinade has gone through the sieve, we're going to go ahead and put in the rest of the green onions. Go ahead and pour in a generous amount into a saucepan. Let that thicken up over medium heat. Now we're going to go ahead and just pour that over our chicken pieces. And toss like we would over wings to make like wing sauce. Get it coated nice and evenly. Toss, toss, toss. Alright, and here we have my interpretation, or reinterpretation of Suwon Rib Marinade Korean fried chicken. It's pretty good, but yeah, this is way too sweet. Like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more.